This is seriously like the worst part of doing these videos is coming up with something for the beginning. It's when it comes time to actually film these videos, I hate it. So let's just roll it. So welcome to episode 44 of Low Tide, the official program for Rude Planet, and I'm your host. How's that? So I've been trying to think more and more about what to do for Halloween episode. And I think I'm going to just hold off till doing holiday stuff until Christmas. I don't know. We'll see. I have something, for next week, but we'll all figure it out by then. But yeah, in the meantime, it's like, as I mentioned in the last episode, I'm trying to get keyed up more into writing. And most of my time has been spending watching YouTube. You may not know this, but if you're watching this, chances are I've been lurking on your channels and just, watching, just, seeing what other people are getting, seeing what other people are doing, and, just, enjoying it. But I have not really been into watching movies or doing anything narratively. And so, as I mentioned in the last episode, I have a book that I want to start writing at the end of the month. It's in the same universe, but not a sequel to Bad Things. And so part of the process is I've been watching a lot of fantasy type stuff to just sort of get my mind away from, my normal mode of thinking. And I've been reading Saga and a lot of other things, because this is tonally this book is much different than Bad Things. It's still going to be darkly comic, but it's it's more dry, and it's meant to be deliberately so. So I'm just gearing myself more into that. So I've been jarring myself out of it by doing a lot more reading and a lot more movie watching. And I've been watching a lot more movies lately. And the other night, I was watching... to back this up, I used to, when I was in film school, I had a tendency when I was in my critical theory classes to troll my professors. Because I never really buy too much into critical theory too much. I think that critical theory has a tendency to... Critical theory is another term for mental gymnastics. It's like, how does this become that? Or how does this become the meaning for that? And there's a bunch of mental gymnastics. Instead of going from point A to point B, if there's no road to point A to point B, You could do a lot of mental gymnastics and come up with any meaning that you want. It's really just deconstruction is nothing more than a academic term for mental gymnastics. I found this particular meaning in this film because I went here and went here and went here, and sometimes context doesn't matter. So the other night, my wife and I, we watched Omega Men, and it's one of my favorite movies. I wrote an essay about that, in college, and I know I still have the essay somewhere. But like realistically, like I wrote it just because one, I knew that the teacher would have to watch it. It's one of my favorite movies. And two, she'd have to read what I had to say. And so, like, the main character, Neville, is based off of the book I Am Legend, which was, recently the Will Smith movie, and also was, like, the basis behind Last Man on Earth. And I think it was, like, the basis for something else. But like the main character Neville, I talked about his narcissism and things like that, and I approached the essay from the point of view of Freud's definition of the uncanny, and also spatial relativism on how we do our subconscious. So like we have if you were like take a house, you'd have like the floor level, and then you'd have like the attic, and then you'd have the basement. And you have like the basement would have all your like base like primal fears, and then like the it's like id, super id, id, ego, and super ego. Super id, yeah. But anyway, my wife was pointing out that the movie, is kind of corny, especially in action sequences. And it's true. It's one of these movies directed by Boris Sagal. And the music is very dated. It's got that, groovy, jazzy type orchestral music you'd find at the turn of the 70s. And but the action sequences in particular, they were all, one camera action scene, so it's a very dated kind of action sequences. It'd be the kind of thing that you would see like in a 1950s western or whatever. It's very theatrical, and if somebody dies, is the kind of thing where like they'd clutch their stomach and fall out of a window type action. It's all single camera action too, so like there's not really any cuts and continuity. And that's the main reason why I like the action sequences, are like really corny by today's standards, because, like in today's standards, there's a lot of coverage and things like that you can cut from. I have no idea why I was getting into any of this. The cut.
I can check that gear in a minute, so don't touch anything, okay?
Down from there! Now! Hey! Turn it over! What if it bumped that control by accident? You'd be mincemeat by now. What have I told you? You don't work on equipment when the engine's running.
Well, I told him not to touch anything. All right, I guess I wasn't thinking.
You weren't thinking? You mean you'll work on engines and machinery and not think of your own personal safety? Here. Shake hands with danger.
Shake hands with danger. Need a guy who ought to know. I used to laugh at safety. Now they call me Three-Finger Joe.
So now I'm back. I think that today's mystery box I'm going to be doing is from Slabs Comics. I'm not really familiar with them outside of Instagram. I've seen like a couple of posts on Instagram, but like they put out a mystery box There's like only like 12 mystery boxes, and like each one has like 5 books on the inside. And they had like some, decent, books to see. And with that many, with that few boxes, I thought, well, there's a good chances, but it's only 5 books. So in order to keep this from being too short of an episode, I thought, well, we'll just go over the stuff I've purchased over the past month, because I just opened these up today. They've been sitting here in the garage for a while, and like I had, and there's still some I haven't gotten to yet. But like I thought, well, we could just talk about, like what my purchasing habits are like. So first thing I got is Fantastic Four Prodigal Son #1, and the reason being is I was going to drag it out to read it, because I have Prodigal Son, Silver Surfer, and Guardians of the Galaxy, and I realized that I couldn't find this. So I don't know if I accidentally sold it a while back, when I had traded it off last year. If I traded it off last year to like the local bookstore or whatever, but like I couldn't find it, so I picked it up. And then Green Lantern #20, the first Jessica Cruz. So I just got that, and there's a lot of spec because of the new Green Lantern show. But like, I didn't pick this up because of spec. I picked this up because I wanted to buy it before like the prices of stuff was going up, because I knew that there were going to be some announcements. And so I actually bought a lot of Green Lantern, and some of it's probably over in boxes over there, and some of them on their way. But yeah, I've been buying Green Lantern now for about a couple months. I bought Green Lantern #25. I bought a couple copies of that like last month or whatever. So yeah, I wanted to make sure that I had, that. So that was something that came up this week. And then I have Canto #1, 3rd printing. There's like only 2,000 of these. And I read a little bit of it online. And I can see why people like it. It's not necessarily for me, but I can see why people, are a little bit crazy about it. And it's kind of a rare issue, so I got that. And I got this along with it. I got Canto #1, 1st printing. And this is going for crazy money now. And the person I bought it from said it wasn't in the best of condition, but like I looked at it, like the flaws on it are like minuscule. So like it's still at least a 9 to 9.2 maybe. And like most of them were damaged anyway. So what can I do? It's like worth it. These issues are like going for a lot of money. And then Incredible Hulk number 418. I forgot the reason why I bought this. I forgot the reason why I bought it. But like, here's the one I was looking forward to the most. Is Epic Illustrated number 3, and that's the first appearance of Jim Starlin's Dreadstar. And out of all of the books that here, this is the one I was waiting for the most. And finally found a pretty good deal on it, so that's that. Anyway, I forgot the box. Give me a second. This is the key box by Slabs Comics. And there's only 5 books in here, but they have like some pretty good hits. And so let's do. Okay, I hope that works as a thumbnail. But yeah, I've been finally get something new for the channel. And like a couple of the comics look like they might be a little bit delicate, maybe, if I got anything like that. So, but yeah, there's only like 11 mystery boxes, and so 11 that were sent out. 12 total. One was given away. And so I thought, well, we will just break into this and see what I got. As I said, this is going to be a fast issue. God, man, you're such a fucking dork. Yeah, so, anyway. Okay, so that's that. And it comes with a card that's supposed to tell you what's in the box. I'm not going to look at it until afterwards. So, cut. So let us just see what I got. Yeah, I found them through Instagram. And I guess they do this from time to time. But, so we have the Avengers number 108. Oh, yay! I finally have a copy of this. I certainly want one for my collection. It's the second printing of Spider-Gwen number 1. Everybody has a copy of this. It's got value, though. It's certainly got value. So... I have it. I got some more X-Men for my collection, Dan. I got X-Men number 191. So, excellent. Yeah, it's X-Men. Oh, yeah, I got it. So, one of the books that I wanted out of this, I got. Man. Here we have Daredevil Number 6. This is the last appearance of the yellow costume, I think. And it's like the first appearance of Mr. Fear. It's from 1965. Wow. That's rad. That's rad. Another spectacular smash hit from the House of Ideas. Yeah, I'm happy as hell to have that. That's great. That's great. That's one thing I like about Daredevil, is that out of like all the main series that Marvel has, it's still pretty collectible. You can get like Daredevil at reasonable prices, so I'm happy to get that. And then we got Amazing Spider-Man number 181. So yeah, that is the 5 boxes I paid for, and it's a great box. The shipping for it was kind of outrageous. So I think it was like $15 shipping, but like, yeah, I certainly got. So like, this was the one thing I saw on their website is like their boxes. They come with a card that will give you all the details of the books that you got, and for best user experience, Gus recommends venturing through your box solo first, then flip this card around and journey with new eyes. So, your book's analyzed. So, there we have that. Daredevil number 6. First appearance of Mr. Fear, Zoltan Drago. Value $25. That has to be its condition. And then we have Avengers number 108. appearance of Space Phantom, value $10. Spider-Gwen number 1, second print, value $30. Amazing Spider-Man number 181, Origin of the Spider-Man, value $5. And X-Men number 191, first appearance of Nimrod, value $10. So 21, 35, 40. It says the value here is $80. And I think that's about right. I think that Daredevil could probably be considered worth a little bit more. I think that's about right. The box itself was like $55, but like after shipping and taxes, I think I paid like $72. So like I made $8 on the deal based off of those prices. But I'm really happy as hell to have that. That's a great box. Suggestion: think about doing a 10-book box. Gives you, yeah, you'll have some filler, but you know, it gives you a little bit more of an experience. So anyway, I guess that's that. I know I had like another shout out I wanted to do, and I forgot like the last episode, and I just recently filmed it right afterwards. I was going to do another shout out, but like when I was going through the books that I got from order, when that Epic Illustrated come up, it reminded me, that was the kind of books I used to look at when I went to the comic book store back in the 90s, around 1991 or 92. And like, I had like this memory from that. You know, I remember there was one time I was living in Virginia at the time. I was in middle school, and like I was in the comic book store. We had like 2 comic book stores in the area owned by the same person. I think like they owned one in Richmond too, but like there's one on the main street drag, and like it had like the one that I like to go to is down towards the university, and yeah, it was like a little basement, you know, kind of comic book store. And I used to flip, and I used to admire like all the old books that they had up there. And like I would always like look at the Gold Key Star Trek books. Like I really wanted those because I loved the covers back then. And like you also had like some other vintage books up there, stuff that I certainly couldn't afford. And I think like there was some like Robert Crumb, like Mr. Natural, and some other shit that he had up there. And like I was in there, and like one day I remember he came in, and like he had brought lunch, and he got like a Subway sandwich, and he must have doused that thing in like in salad dressing, because like the entire comic book store suddenly smelled like vinegar, and it was like making my eyes water, and I started to complain. And the guy's like, "You want to make fun of my food? You want to make fun of my food? Get the fuck out of my store!" and kick me out. And like so I ended up like for like, you know, a good couple months going to his other store across town instead. Anyway, that story doesn't really amount to much, but I thought that's what I was reminded of from that Epic Illustrated. So anyway, thanks everybody for stopping by. Thank you all the new subscribers, and I really hope to have something more coherent for you the next time. So thanks for stopping by. I will see you the next time, and as Red Green would say, keep your stick on the